This is a no BS guide on how you can start a social media marketing agency completely from scratch in 30 minutes or less. Dead serious. If you don't know me, I'm Vance. I currently run a social media marketing agency in SMMA for real estate agents. It's currently pacing in the area about $100,000 and $130,000 a month. And this video is not some kind of sales pitch. I'm not here to pitch you a course at the end of it or something like that. Now, I know a guy who scaled his SMMA to $8,000 a month with no website, no logo. He did have a company name, although you don't even need one, to be honest. And so here is easily the fastest way that you can start an SMMA from scratch, from zero, without wasting any time to basically speed run your way to your first sale. And I got this video idea I saw one video and it was like how to start an SMMA in 2 days or something like that. You don't need to spend that much time. So hilariously enough, there are two main steps here, but in between them, I'm going to take a break and kind of explain a concept. The first step, though, is picking a niche. Surprise, surprise. The question is how? How do you pick a good niche? And I think the simplest, easiest way to look at this is you want to find a niche that has money, that you can make a lot of money if you're doing lead gen and selling an ROI offer, return on investment offer, where you're essentially selling people that you're going to help them grow their business. And a niche that is growing in popularity, meaning there are becoming more and more of these businesses that you can help. And one added thing that I personally prefer, although you don't have to do this, is I prefer to help businesses that have a higher ticket value or that I can simply help make more money. Maybe this means selling to more established businesses. If you're doing something in e-commerce, maybe you want to sell to businesses that are already doing at least $1 to $5 million a year, for example. Because a 10% increase on $1 million is $100,000. Let's say they get an extra, $30,000 in profit, for example, and then you can take a cut from that. It's still kind of a low number, to be completely honest with you, but you get the idea. It's better than, helping an e-commerce store that has $10,000 in lifetime revenue. But you want to be stepping into markets where there are more and more of the businesses that you are looking to help, and it's supply and demand, right? The supply of marketing agencies to help these businesses does not meet the demand for the marketing agencies. It just means you don't have to be as good to get as many clients, basically. I personally prefer to help businesses with higher ticket price points in the area of $5,000 to $30,000 and up. Because what happens there is you have more marketing room to make mistakes and still make significant amounts of money. And on top of that, a lot of businesses who have a $30,000 price tag, if you come in and say, my services are X dollars, which is way less than 30 grand, it's pretty easy for them to be like, okay, well, this is worth a shot. This is where I want to take a break and talk about a concept here. And this concept, if concept is even the right word, is start fast, start messy, fail fast, and just figure it out as you go. One big mistake a lot of beginners make, and I made this mistake myself, is sitting there and planning for months before ever getting out the gate. Starting off, you're gonna need a source of income, generally speaking, unless maybe you're young, you live at home with your parents, you're happy, everything's good, and you literally do not need any money. Then sure, you can take a longer period of time to prime systems and everything like that. But oftentimes people wanting to wait and set something up, so on and so forth, are just procrastinating, and they don't actually even realize that that's what they're doing. But I want to lean into this a little bit more and explain something that seriously 99% of you people that hear this are going to ignore this message. But for the select few of you that do, it'll seriously save you so much headache in business. Do not wait for perfection, period. It's never going to happen. In business, you're never done. You're never ever done. If you try to improve one process, maybe you can hit a certain KPI number and then you're like, great. But then even what happens from there, let's say you're trying to hit a certain lead cost or a certain opt-in rate on a landing page. You get there, but then eventually the message dies out, it loses its effectiveness, and then your opt-in rate goes down, and then you need to, figure it out again. So you're never ever ever done. And if you think you're done, that's when you really get killed. So it's a constant, unending, never-ending uphill battle. And again, so many of you are going to watch my videos, listen to my videos, and ignore some of these things that I say. Like another video where I talk about 3 things that can get you to 10K a month with 0 testimonials, I think is what it's called. There are 3 core things that so many people talk about that the average person just ignores. Oh, it can't be that easy. It's that easy, it's that simple. It's maybe not that easy. Doing it is where things get challenging and you have so many questions that come up, but it is that simple. Actually start fast, actually fail fast. Most people don't actually do it. It's easy to watch a YouTube video of me saying this and then not doing anything. But if you actually do it, that's what separates the people who take business more seriously and make it further from the people who don't. Like, I'm super no BS, straight to the point. I try to give you as valuable, realistic information as possible without fluff. And I've learned this from years of effort. If I were in your position, I would legitimately sit down and write notes based on the YouTube videos that you're watching. Particularly my videos, at least. I can't really comment on anybody else's videos. I don't watch them. So the second thing that you need to do is, within that niche, locate one business and cold email them from your personal email, offering them your services. If you don't know what a cold email is basically an email that you send out to a complete stranger saying, hey, I think I can help you do something. You get a really low response rate, usually around 1% to 2%. And then you can start having a little phone conversation, book somebody into a sales meeting, and then close the deal. So you need a lot of leads. You need to send hundreds and hundreds of messages to even close a deal. Generally speaking, it does depend, but that's basically what a cold email is. And so, just to be super clear, you don't need to use these fancy softwares to, is it software or softwares? Like, for plural. I've Googled it and gotten both answers. I literally, help me. You don't need any software like some cold email warming tool and 10 email accounts. Like, if you have an email account that you've been using for years, even if it doesn't directly have your name in it, you can use that to send. Like, the from email doesn't really matter. You can change the from name, that would matter. But the from email doesn't matter. Just using a Gmail, that's like the most reliable thing you can do. And you can send a good 50 to 100, even some people even send like 500 emails a day from Gmail accounts. It really comes down to what works for you. I've found 50 per day is kind of like a sweet spot to not really get yourself in any trouble. But you don't need to warm up accounts and wait 90 days to warm up email. Just send from an email you already have. It's really easy stuff. And the beauty about starting is that you just need to do one thing to start. If you send one email, you've actually started. And sure, starting can also be creating a logo and whatever, but you've started taking steps in the direction that are going to make you money and actually get you clients. A business is useless without clients. And if you'd rather sit and spend 120 days creating your website, like, your website is actually useless. I have a friend who does multiple 5 figures per month in his agency, and he just operates based off of his name. Like, he has a website that he made like 6 years ago, and he has a company name that he puts on his invoices and stuff, but generally speaking, he just walks around and is himself. And when I was starting out, I had a company name, but I'd say on the phones like, hey, this is Evan Vance. I wouldn't say what company I was from, because it wasn't really much of a company, it's just me. So you don't really need to worry about doing all this fancy stuff and paying for a website and getting a logo created, and it's fun and exciting, but it's honestly useless. Now, if you don't know how to write a cold email, I made a video talking about cold emails, and you can get a good baseline understanding of cold emails. So that'll be on your screen somewhere here. Click on that, go watch it. Otherwise, see you soon.